Take a deep breath. Fill your lungs completely. Now, imagine you can't exhale. Imagine your chest is pressed against cold, wet rock. Your arms are pins beneath you. You're completely upside down, and the tunnel you are in is barely wider than the width of your own shoulders. This is a movie scene. This isn't a nightmare. For 27 hours, this was the terrifying reality for a man named John Edward Jones. In 2009, John entered the Nutty Putty Cave in Utah, looking for an adventure. He crawled into a hole the size of a washing machine door. But the tunnel didn't lead to a cavern. It didn't lead to an exit. It led to a geological trap so diabolical that once you slide in, physics dictates that you cannot slide back out. This is the story of the longest night in the history of cave exploration. It involves 137 rescue workers, a pulley system that defied engineering, and a tragedy so profound that the only way to end it was to seal the cave forever, with John still inside. If you are claustrophobic, I am warning you now. Look away. John Jones was 26 years old. He was in the prime of his life. A medical student at the University of Virginia, a devout religious man, and a father to a 13-month-old daughter with another baby on the way. He had come home to Utah for Thanksgiving. It was supposed to be a happy family reunion. On the evening of November 24th, 2009, John, his brother Josh, and a few friends decided to go spelunking, cave exploring. They chose Nutty Putty Cave. Now, Nutty Putty wasn't considered a killer cave. It was a popular spot for Boy Scouts and college students. It was known for its tight squeezes, sure, but tens of thousands of people had gone in and come out safely. John himself had explored it as a child. He thought he knew this place. The group entered the cave around 8 p.m. The atmosphere was fun, adventurous. They navigated the first few chambers easily. But John was looking for a challenge. He wanted to find a famous passage known as the birth canal. As the name suggests, it's a tight, constricting tunnel that you have to wiggle through to be reborn into a larger room. John found a hole. He thought it was the birth canal. He was wrong. John entered a section of the cave that wasn't mapped on the tourist charts. It was an area known to veteran cavers as Ed's Push. But unlike the birth canal, Ed's Push doesn't open up. It gets tighter and tighter and tighter, and then it drops.
John is 6 feet tall, 200 pounds. He's a former basketball player, not a small man. He enters the tunnel headfirst, using his fingers to pull his way forward. He navigates a sharp downward bend. Gravity is now working against him. The tunnel is angled at 70 degrees, almost vertical. He thinks, I just need to push through this tight spot and it will widen out. This is a common psychological trap in caving. The belief that forward is the only way out. So he excels. To make his chest smaller, he slides forward. He drops into a crevice measuring just 10 inches by 18 inches. That is the size of the opening of a cereal box. When he inhales again, his chest expands. But now, the rock walls won't let him. The friction locks him in place. John realizes he is stuck. His arms are pinned underneath his chest. He cannot push himself up. He cannot wiggle backward. Gravity is pulling him deeper with every breath. His brother Josh is the first to find him. Josh sees only John's feet sticking out of the dark hole. Josh tries to pull him. He pulls hard, but John cries out in pain. The tunnel is jagged. Pulling him straight back catches his body on the rocks. At this moment, the reality sets in. This isn't the help me up situation. This is a life or death emergency. Josh scrambles out of the cave to call 911. John is left alone in the dark, upside down, 150 feet below the surface of the earth. While the rescue teams are assembling, a silent killer begins to work on John's body. It's called positional asphyxia and inverse trauma. Human beings are not designed to be upside down. When you are inverted, your internal organs, your liver, your stomach, your intestines, slide down, pressing against your diaphragm. Your lungs have to work twice as hard to inflate. But it gets worse. Your heart is designed to pump blood up to your brain and let gravity pull it back down. When you are upside down, the heart can pump blood to the head easily, but it can't get it back out. The pressure builds, eyes bulge, capillaries burst, the brain begins to swell. Usually, a human can survive maybe 8 to 10 hours in this position before losing consciousness. John Jones would fight for 27.
By midnight, the cavalry arrives, the Utah County Sheriff's Office, search and rescue teams, trauma doctors. But when the first rescuer, Susie Motola, reaches John, she realizes the nightmare scenario. The tunnel twists, she can't see his face, she can only talk to his boots. "Hi John, my name is Susie, how are you doing?" John's voice, strained and panicked, echoes back. "Hi Susie, thanks for coming. I really want to get out."
The rescuers are heroes, but they are fighting geometry. They cannot pull him manually. It's physically impossible. They need mechanical advantage. They spent hours drilling bolts into the cave walls to set up a pulley system. The plan is to hoist John up, inch by inch, until his legs are free enough to turn him around. It takes 19 hours of preparation. 19 hours of John hanging upside down. His speech is becoming slurred. He is starting to hallucinate. He talks about his wife, Emily. He prays. Finally, the system is ready. 8 strong men grab the rope. They pull, and it works. John moves. He slides up a few inches, then a few more. He's lifted high enough that he can make eye contact with the rescuers. He smiles. He says, "It sucks to be upside down." Hope. For the first time in 20 hours, there is absolute hope. They prepare for the third pull. The men heave on the rope with everything they have. Crack! The sound echoes like a gunshot. The stone arch near the entrance, where the pulleys were anchored, shatters. It wasn't solid bedrock. It was brittle clay-infused limestone. The pulley rips loose. The rope goes slack. And John falls back down. He falls right back into the hole, deeper than before. One of the rescuers is struck in the face with a metal carabiner and knocked unconscious. The scene is chaos, but for John, it is silence. He is now wedged so tightly that his breathing becomes a shallow gasp.